Hi. And now, in the studio with us, a legend, a man who has sold. Don, why don't you come over to that guest mic and just steer clear of that chair? We don't want it to be damaged. Give him some nice introduction music, Pedro. This is the Ventures version of Wipeout. Don Wilson is here with his signature guitar, and he is a rock and roll Hall of Famer. Don Wilson and his group, The Ventures, are now in their 5th decade of touring the world, playing songs like Walk, Don't Run, Hawaii Five-0, and they're recording their newest work. The Ventures play the Beatles. That's only released in Japan now. We're going to ask them when that's coming out in the U.S. You can see The Ventures playing their hits and Beatles classics this Friday night in the Snoqualmie Casino Ballroom. Don Wilson, welcome back. It's so good to see you.
It's nice to see you again, Bob.
You look great. Life's good?
Well, thank you very much for an old man,
You ain't old.
Yes, I am.
Oh, come on. You could be Andy Rooney's kid.
You know the way you find out you're getting a little bit older?
How?
Well, I was up at a bar just, the other night, and I sat down next to a young girl, and I looked at her and I said, "Do you think you could get interested in an older man?" And she looked at me and said, "Why? You got a son?" That's how you find out.
That's pretty old. Yeah. But you're good. You're a rock star. I bet she didn't know you sold 100 million albums, or she would have just jumped on you.
We did?
Yeah.
Quietly, I'll tell you that.
You did quietly sell 100 million albums. Tell me about. I think the fact that no one would know that if I didn't say it when I introduced you.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you, it's good to have an audience with the king. And I don't mean Presley, I mean you.
Wow.
Rivers, hey!
I would thought you were talking about Larry. For a second. That's very nice. Well, thank you very much, but that would be Pat O'Day and all of the people over the generations who supported you.
I
right?
know.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, here I am at KJR, where Walk, Don't Run was the very first station
In the country?
to play it in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how many, when KJR played Walk, Don't Run,
Yes.
how many records had you sold prior to that point?
None.
0.
Wow.
So KJR plays Walk, Don't Run.
Right.
You guys sell 100 million albums.
Yeah. That's true.
That's power that we don't have.
Yeah.
But it's nice to think
That'd be nice.
that is something. All right, now, did you guys, with like rock stars get famous, and they go on binges, they trash hotel rooms, they fish off the pier at the Edgewater, they smash their instruments on stage, but
Right.
not you guys.
No, we don't do that.
You were very mild-mannered.
Yes.
And people made fun of you. They said it was elevator music sometimes.
Sometimes.
But here you got more songs in more places and all over the world too than most big rock bands.
Yeah, that's true.
What was the? Yeah, go ahead.
Good. Somebody once at one time, just with that one person, but it gets to you. It said we're a bunch of white wimps, And then John Fogerty had an article, and he said, I heard that. He said, I disagree with that completely and totally. The Ventures are cool.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I was listening to your Beatles CD, which is only released in Japan. I understand right now.
Yeah.
And I was struck by the musicianship of everybody.
Oh, thank you so much.
The playing is, it's you can't play that. It's the arrangements and the difficulty with which those parts are played. It's not flashy like some musicians like to be, but it's brilliant playing. Did you when you started off? Were you as good as that? Did you get better over the years? And how many hours did you practice?
Well, Bob, in 1958, we bought 2 guitars in a pawn shop. My partner and I, Bob Bogle.
Okay.
In downtown Tacoma. We were working construction, and we had a lot of time off, and working like in Pullman and places like that, maybe Portland, a long way from home. So what we did was just really cram with the guitar, bought chord books, tried to learn every chord we could possibly learn.
And that's the thing. Some people learn 3 or 4 chords. They learn how to
Right.
play rock songs, and then they stay in that groove.
Yeah, that's right.
But you wanted to know it all about
Yes,
music.
we did,
And,
yeah.
and you have here today. You have a chord chart that's encased in plastic, much like the Applebee's menu that Joe usually brings in. And do you sell those or give those away to people? Those
Yeah,
are-
my son has a guitar company called Wilson Brothers Guitars, and we have a box set with the Ventures model guitar in it, Ventures model amplifier, that chord chart.
And this chord chart is like the hand configurations for
You bet.
every single guitar chord.
That's right. Mhm.
That's for a kid just getting started. They should learn all of these.
Really good,
Really
yeah.
important. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about the excesses on the road.
What kind of excess?
I don't know. I'm just hoping there was something.
You know,
about the girls. Were
love
there
'em up.
girls?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, just to give you a hint, after a concert years back, I had
Years,
this
yeah.
girl knocking on my door. She after the show, and she was knocking on my door from about midnight till about 4 in the morning. Yeah, I finally got up and let her out.
You're a good man.
So there was. I mean, there was there was good times. There was
Very
fun.
good times. Yeah.
Did any of your band members, like some go very public with this, did any of them fight the demons of excess and have to recover from all of that?
No one.
There was. So you guys were not like.
We were a bunch of white wimps. That's why.
That's what they called. Is that why they called you wimps? Because you
white
wouldn't get
wimp.
high with them.
I don't know.
How you make it into your 5th decade of touring the world.
That's
yeah,
true.
that's right. Hmm.
Now in Japan, you hear like the Cheap Trick record live from Budokan, people scream their heads off. Do people really scream like that when you guys play over there?
Well, they used to. As a matter of fact, we first went over there in 1962, and nobody ever heard of us. It was just my partner and I, because they couldn't afford the whole group. So just Bob Bogle and me. And they were so quiet when we played that you could hear a pin drop. But after we were finished playing it, with the applause and standing ovation, and was very gratifying.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
now it's almost the same, which is wonderful. And, it's, Bob, there's a lot of families, actually, that come. And somebody will say, even in this country, my uncle had all your records, and my dad or my grandpa or somebody like that. And I got a hold of them, and now you're my favorite group.
Right.
Yeah, so it's wonderful.
I don't know how to ask this question, but I mean,
Uh-oh.
you having sold so many records, 100 million records, one would assume, which San Juan Island do you own? I guess was the question
Yeah.
I was going to ask. And do you let anyone else on the island? No. Did the record companies take care of you? Because in the early days, the record companies kind of kept all the money, right?
They sure did.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask about 5-0, because I mean that there's a song, Hawaii 5-0, that was, everybody on the planet knew that song when Steve McGarrett, Jack Lord was on TV every week, and now Hawaii 5-0 is back.
Yeah.
And the song is back. Are you buying another?
Oh, I already know
island?
the answer to this because when he came in, he went dun 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 dun. dun.
Yeah. Hint, hint.
So yeah, put those two questions together. What can you say? What do you feel like saying about it?
About the new Hawaii 5-0?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let me tell you what happened. This is a story for
Okay.
you. Okay. We have somebody that tries to, push our songs and music, and he had called the new Hawaii 5-0 people, and they had said that, we have our own music director, and we're going to do it with a synthesizer.
Oh.
Hawaii 5-0 with a synthesizer. I said, I don't think that's going to make it. And eventually it was right, and it didn't. People complained about it.
So wait a minute. They signed on with the show,
Right.
and people complained about the theme.
Yeah, about the theme playing on a synthesizer.
synthesizer.
Playing
Yeah.
5-0 on a
Do you
synthesizer
have,
is like.
Pedro, do you have that bad version of it? Is it on the internet somewhere?
I hope it is.
Okay, he's looking.
Playing 5-0 on a synthesizer is like having a surf competition at a wave pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it,
true.
It
Yeah,
don't
that's
fly.
Right. So did you re-record it for them, or did they
We
just play the-
re-recorded
You
it.
did?
Yes, we did. But let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
Now, we sent them our song, and I don't know why, but they didn't accept our song, our version, which helped the show with Steve McGarrett and all that, we helped the show a lot by having a hit record on Hawaii Five-0. Now, they turned us down, said we have our own music director, and he's been with us for the last couple of shows, so we have to use him. And we have a version with Tim Bollies, which I thought they would love, but they didn't want to hear it. So what they did after they had the, got bad press on the synthesizer version, they copied our version, just right down to the T. So
course.
we're not playing it on there.
So you're getting ripped off.
Getting ripped off.
All right.
Been there,
Who is
done
Tim
that.
Bolly, by the way? What does he play?
Yeah, Tim Bolly. You know Tim. You know that guy from Indonesia.
The guy from Indonesia.
Right.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Or Mule.
All right. So, Pedro, could you find any of those? I'd love to hear
I mean, the
difference.
only one that I have is the theme song, the full version of the news TV
This
show.
is the new one.
This is the new one. You want to hear it? Yeah.
And that's like programmed on a computer, right?
Right.
Yeah. But you can hear it. Because the drums go.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
The drums sound like machine guns, not like a real
Yeah,
drum.
it is. That's definitely not a live performance.
And somewhere in there, there's like a washing machine saying that
Yeah.
the laundry is done, too. I mean, it's a bunch of junk. Okay.
Yeah,
But
our new Hawaii Five-0 just buries that one.
do you have it with you today? Or you're going to play it live for us? Oh, you have it. Get the CD into him. All right.
And here's the Beatles.
Oh, and I love the Beatles one, too. I'll just take that home. Thank
And
you.
here's a Christmas. I got a lot
You
of
have
them.
Christmas too? All right. So are you guys? All right. And I hinted, but you do well. You do well with the. I mean, like even though it's not sexy Rihanna's latest flavor of the week,
Right.
You guys sell for decades and decades and decades. The
Yes,
music
we
is
do.
still-
And we still sell pretty good. Pretty good.
Right. And people still throw clothing on stage. It has never stopped.
I hope not.
The undies are just getting a little bit
What
bigger.
would you? Yeah. What would you
And
like?
I had to tell
yeah.
one guy, just the girls. Now,
All right.
come on.
Yeah, would you like women's clothing on stage this weekend at Snoqualmie
I love
Casino?
it, yeah,
All right,
sure.
women's clothing on stage. Really, things they can use though. A pants.
but-
Like a smart cardigan.
So, all right, Pedro, do you have it?
Just give me a second.
Okay, he's getting it. And in a moment, we're going to take a break.
Yes.
And come back with you guys live.
Good.
We'll play Hawaii Five-0. And which Beatles song would you like to play?
We're going to play Norwegian Wood.
Okay, here's Hawaii Five-0. Live with Don Wilson of the Ventures when we come back. And, God, I can't believe that's real people playing.
Real people,
Yeah.
yeah, you betcha. There's about 35 pieces on that.
All right. Don, thank you so much for being here, and stand by to hear him live. All the information about their show this weekend at Snoqualmie Casino will be on our website, bobrivers.com. Come early because we've got that incredible American Night Band between 6 and 8 for the happy hour, and then we're going to be in the big ballroom looking at you.